Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another live session where we do a 20-question mock test. And I'm saying attempt to do a hazard perception. While I was doing a tech check this morning, the iPad wasn't working for some reason. The videos on the iPad and on the live desktop I use wasn't working either. So we'll see if we can do a hazard perception towards the end. That's the plan, but we will do a 20-question mock test. So hopefully you've had a good weekend so far, or a good week so far. Let me just get my windows up so I can see if it's going out live, most importantly, and see you guys' comments, if anyone's commenting. Let's throw this up here. Remember, if you guys got any questions, please feel free to put it into the comment section, but please put a Q semicolon. It makes it easier for me to see your questions and network and answer it rather than me skipping over it because it looks like a comment otherwise. So let me just get myself set. All right. So Aman, good morning to you. Cherry, good morning to you. Not seen your name before, so I'm assuming you're new. Or Silence Watcher. Good morning. I'm going to say Tina. Is that Yuchi? Good morning to you, sir. Bill, good morning. Charmaine, good morning. Hope all is well. I'm joining the boot camp tomorrow. Excited. Hopefully you got the email. If you're joining the boot camp tomorrow, the team would have sent out a welcome email to you. The team would have sent a welcome email to you with a link that you need to use to sign in. Remember, you got access to the bootcamp straight away, so you can get a head start if you haven't already by logging in Kajabi. And I shall see you in there tomorrow at 4:30. Victoria, good morning to you. Zachariah, good morning to you. Not seen your name before, Zachary, so again, I assume that you're new or a silent watcher. Evidence, good morning. For the first time again, welcome to you. Dada, good morning. Rubab, good morning. How can I study for the hazard perception? That would be the apps. Whatever app you're using, providing it's the paid version, you will have hazard perceptions on there. So you've got a combination of CGIs and real life clips on there. And you just practice, and then you could end up doing a mock test. I would do individual hazard perceptions first, get an idea what you're looking for, and then I would move on to doing a full mock test to make sure your scores are on point. Charlotte, good morning. Good morning. Sammy, good morning. Good morning to all you guys. Everyone TV, good morning to you. Happy Sunday. All right, so let me start off with an overview first. Like I said, I don't take it for granted that you guys know how the hazard perception, how the theory test works, because some of you are new here. I know some people haven't even started studying for the theory test. They just know there is one that you've got to do to be able to take book a driving test. So the overview, it's 50 multiple choice. It's 50 questions when you go for the real test. If you're using the apps, it gives you the formula or the format for it. 50 questions to do. I will add, because again, I'm still getting emails every single week, WhatsApp messages every single week. I've gone for my test, I failed it, blah, blah, blah. The questions were different. The questions are going to be different. The app questions are sampled questions. They're not the real question. Nobody has access to the real questions. The DVSA gives out sample questions to the app, which is licensed. That's why I suggest you use the paid version, because if it's paid, it's licensed. So when you go for the real test, they may be worded slightly differently, and there may be questions that you've never seen before. So that's something you have to be prepared for. The only reason why I know what some of the questions are worded like is because obviously I do this every single week, and my students give me feedback from the questions that pop up on the real test. Your questions are made up of 14 different categories, just in case you didn't know. That's why in my videos, I keep saying study the categories in turn, because your knowledge needs to be strong across the board, because it's when you go for the test, it's random. So if there's 10 of you in the room, it's 10 different tests going on. It's not the same test for everybody. It's different. So someone else might get 5 road signs, somebody else may get 2 road signs, somebody else may get 3 road signs. And that's the reason why your category knowledge needs to be strong. You got 57 minutes to answer your 50 questions and need 43 out of 50 to pass. If you obviously score less than 43, it's going to be a fail on that side of things. Once you click finish on that, you move on to the hazard perception, which is 14 videos. 13 of them have single hazards. One of them's got a double. 2 5 score 10. You need 44 minimum. Your average has to be 44 out of 75 to pass that. Like I said at the beginning of this live session, I'll attempt to do a demonstration of the hazard perception. But when I was doing the tech check this morning, both the desktop videos and the app videos wasn't working for some reason. So I don't know if that's a universal thing, because it's never happened like that before. But we'll see what it's like in about an hour and a half's time and have a go at that. What you're looking for in terms of answers is safety. The driving test is based on safety and control outcome. That's what the examiner looks for. And the theory test is no different. They're looking for safety outcome. If it's not safe, it's going to lead to a controlled outcome. That's the answers you are looking for. Deliver that, and you should be passing your theory test with no problems. Deliver that on your driving test, you should be passing your driving test with no problems. Right, so let me see what you guys are saying. Before we kick on, good morning to you guys. Good morning. Good morning, new member here, Mathing. I hope I'm saying that right. I said good morning, Selena. Good morning to you. Hopefully you are well. Hopefully the driving's going well. Patty, good morning. Good morning. Past first attempt 44, 68. Wow, 68 on the hazard perception. That's really, really high. Well done to you. Thank you for coming to the live and let me know how you got on. Let me know what you're doing now. Driving lessons, looking for a driving test, which is not easy to find. Stacey's taking a test tomorrow. I wish you the best of luck tomorrow, Stacey, with that. Please come back next week. Let us know how you got on. Again, Stacey, if you've got any questions or any concerns, put it in the chat now. While we're live, let me answer it for you. Send you in there nice and confident for tomorrow. So let's start. Festus, good morning, new member here. Right, let's start the 20 questions. I'm gonna say 50 questions and 20 questions. Share my screen. So those of you that are new, the way we do this, let me get my cursor up so you know what's going on. Where are you? Right, so we read the question first. That's what I suggest you do. If it's got an image, and again, this is useful. Use this technique for the live sessions. Read the questions first, because sometimes there's clues in there. That it happens, I'll show you along the way. If it's got an image, look at the image, because sometimes there's clues in the image. So you're traveling behind a bus. What should you do if it pulls up at a bus stop? So this is A, for those of you that are new. This is B, this is C, this is D. Please put the question number. So we're number 1. If you think it's A, please put 1A, as there's a delay between me and YouTube and you and YouTube. I want to always make sure we're on the same question. You guys are taking effort to type the answer in, so I like to show it where possible. But if you don't put the question number, I can't show it. I don't know if it's related. Congratulations on passing. Silent member, I'm glad you broke your silence to let me know how you got on, because it does pass or fail, to be fair, knowing that you guys are using the channel to help you get the result that you're looking for. So it does help. And I do try to put out new content when I've got the time to film them and edit them, but the live does go out every single week. But congratulations on passing, by the way. Amman's gone 1C. It's pronounced Marfaning. Okay, no problem. Again, another silent follower, Peter, 4459. Thanks for your guidance. No problem. Thank you for coming to the live and let me know how you got on. Appreciate that. Let me come back to that because there's something I'm picking up on that. Right, you guys are going for C. Good morning. Let me come back to that one. Right, C is what you guys are going to look for pedestrians. Yeah, look for pedestrians because they tend to cross in front of the bus rather than behind it. In England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, what will be the speed limit usually be where you can see street lights but no speed limit signs. I've not seen it worded like that before. Well, it's really worded weirdly. Let's just do this. What I need to come back to. Right, this one, morning when I failed the very first time. I have booked again for September 8th, which is under a month. I think my mistakes were in the has perception part majority. I'm a big thing on words when people speak. That's why I like to do the bootcamp live. So when people speak, I pick up on what they're saying. You said, I think my mistakes were in the has perception. You shouldn't be thinking, you should know. You either passed the questions and failed the has perception or failed both or vice versa. You shouldn't be thinking. So if your score was less than 44 in a hazard perception, then yes, you failed the hazard perception. But also, what did you get in the question part? So like I said, I'm a big thing on words because it tells you how you're thinking. You just don't realize it. Because in the bootcamp, I tend to work on mindset rather than just, oh, the answer is this. Because it's very easy to give the answer, but you need to know why you chose the wrong answer in the first place. So based on what you're saying, you said, I think I failed in hazard perception. You should know if you failed in hazard perception. So just double check that. And then once you know for clarity, you know what you need to work on. But if you don't know what you failed on, then how can you work on it? John. Yeah, the hazard perception is 14 videos. One of them, 14 videos, 13 of them has single hazard, which means you can score 5 max in that video. One of them's got a double hazard on there, which is 2 5s. You don't know which one's which. You just got to keep clicking all the way through. As I mentioned, I will try to do a hazard perception demonstration at the end, but like I said, when I was doing the tech check, the videos on the desktop version wasn't working and the videos on the iPad wasn't working. And like I said, that suggests it's a universal issue from the DVSA. So hopefully in an hour's time or so, it's cleared up and I can demonstrate it for you. And we are on number 2. Let's find the 2s. You guys are all going for A's at the moment. Oh, someone's gone for a 2C there. I've got to assume that, someone's gone for a B as well. Interesting. So A, B's and C's. I've got to assume that A is correct because there's a majority. But we shall take a look in a minute. Number C. Once they've got street lights, it's 30 miles an hour. Built up here at 30 miles an hour. So it's B's and C's 40, 60. 60 would be a single carriageway, depending on what vehicle they're talking about. Never going to be 40 as an answer. And it's possible 50 on the single carriageway, depending on the category they're talking about, vehicle. But it says street lights. Once it's got street lights in there, it's 30 miles an hour. At an incident, how could you help a small child who's not breathing? How to identify the video or and or will be the last video. As I mentioned, you don't know which one's a double. It could be anywhere, beginning, middle, or end. And that's the wrong way of going into your hazard perception. If you're trying to sit there, work out which one's a double, that's the wrong attitude to have. The chance that you're going to fail it. You want to be going into the videos and spotting hazards. If you're spotting hazards, it doesn't make a difference what video it's on. You're going to spot it anyway. But once you go in there trying to work out which one's got the 10 on it, it's the wrong mindset. You're going to fail. Oh, got a test date. Well done to you. When's the test? Don't have to put the exact date, just what month? I've never seen this question. Is this a new question? I've not seen it worded that way. It's not a new question. Street lights is not a new question. It's just worded differently. And as I keep saying to you guys, the questions will be worded differently. But if you understand it, the answer is always going to be the same, regardless of how they word it. So like I said, I've not seen that before, but once it's got street lights in it, which it will have all the other questions, depending on how they word it, it's going to be 30 miles an hour. So it doesn't matter how they word it, as long as you know the knowledge, which is street lights. Victor. "48 out of 50, missed the magical 50 by 2, so well done to you. 60 out of 75, well done as well. Well done for passing, Victor. Congratulations. What are you going to do next? Driving lessons or driving tests? Have you got driving experience already? First time here, Patrick. Welcome. Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully I'll still keep it simple for you. We're on 3C. So I'm just trying to find the 3Cs because so many of you type, 87 of you here, it's not even 10, 20 yet. I appreciate you guys giving up your Sunday mornings and turning up and contributing by typing in the comments. Marissa's always coming through the back door. Hello, Marissa. How are you? Hopefully you're well. Looks like this time you guys are all agreeing on 3C on this. January 26th. Let me come back to that in a second, Selena. No number. Yeah, like I said, the streetlight one is not a new question. It's just that they can word it different ways. But if your knowledge is strong, you know streetlights is always going to be the answer of 30 miles an hour. See what you guys... CPR, yeah, make sure they're breathing or start to breathe. What should you do when you see... What should you do when you see this sign at a crossroad? There's not a sign there. Oh, there's supposed to be here. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I think something's gone wrong with the DVSA website. It says, what should you do when you see this sign at crossroads? The image is here, but obviously it's not blown up. So there's going to be an issue. I don't know what that sign is, and my internet's working because we're going out live. So I know it's got to be on the DVSA site. Because when I was doing the tech check this morning, as I said, the hazard perception stuff wasn't working at all. The videos wasn't working. So obviously the images aren't working. So let's see if we can use logic on this one. Still put an answer what you think it is. You guys are going for 4D on this one. Let's see if we can work it out without the image. What should you do when you see this sign at a crossroads? So the key word there is crossroads. So let's break it down logically. So the key is crossroads. It's not going to be find another route because that's stupid. Maintain the same speed. That's a possible. Telephone the police. It's not going to be that one. Carry on with great care. So it's going to be between these two. Maintain the same speed. Carry on with great care. The safety one out of all of them is carry on with great care. That suggests safety. So I would go for D on this one. Let me just make sure what you guys are putting in on this before I type that in. You guys are going for D as well. Marvis, welcome, first time here. Patrick's gone for 4A. I'm assuming you mean 4C. It's definitely 4A. You would never find a safe outcome. Yeah, you're looking for the safe outcome. You're never going to find another route on a theory test because you never get home. Because if you're always going to find another route, then means you're not making progress home. So it's never going to be that for answer for your theory test or in real life. So safe outcome is carry on with great care. That's the one I would go for with no image. There you go. How does drinking alcohol affect your driving behavior? Itahan, hopefully I'm saying that correct, not butchering your name. I passed yesterday. Yesterday, well done to you. 45 and 60 has a perception. My first attempt. Thanks for all the tips and support on this channel. You are welcome. Thank you for letting me know. Selena, you got January 26th. I don't know if you will be ready before then, but if you are, there is a possibility you can get it shifted. Use an app called Test Shift. Now you've got a date. Use an app called Test Shift. Type in a date that you realistically want, and they may be able to shift it to that particular date. So if January is too far away, it seems far away, but trust me, it's only around the corner. Someone told me the other day on Friday is 20 more weekends to Christmas, apparently. But yeah, if you feel like you're going to be ready before January 26th, then it's worth typing in using Test Shift and typing the details that you require, and then maybe have to shift it. If they can, happy days, you take it sooner. If they can't, you still got 26 anyway. You're not going to lose it. So it's worth thinking about. Good morning, Patty. I failed my theory, got 42, 65. Has perceptions fine, so back to revision and I rebook my test for end of the month. Number of questions was wrong, was across 8 topics. 8 topics. 8 topics and you got 8 questions wrong. That's a lot of topics. Normally 42 on average is about 5 topics. If you got 8 topics wrong, that's 1 per question. What I would do with that data, I would definitely go back to the beginning. When I say back to the beginning, as in restudy the categories, it shows a lack of knowledge across the categories. Let's try and do this again. It's because it's live. 8 questions. You got 8 questions wrong. 42. So you got 8 questions wrong. That suggests you got 1 per topic. That's over half the topics, considering it's 15. Even though it's only 1 question per topic, 8, that suggests there's a lack of knowledge across your categories. So I would go back to the categories and restudy them. If you've rebooked it when? End of the month. End of August, 7/14/21. So it's 3 weeks away, give or take. That's enough time to restudy those categories. That's what I would do with that information and then go again. 5. You guys are definitely agreeing on these. Oh, Marvis have gone for a C there. Right. D's common answer. It increases confidence. Yes, it does. Let me just double check. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it increases confidence, which means you're going to take risk. That's the reason why it's the answer. Which, again, the images is not here. Look, images here. Which arm signal tells you that the car you're following is going to pull up? Without seeing the image, you can't work this one out without the images. But take a guess. Put it in the chat. Let's have a bit of fun with it. I apologize, but like I said, it's definitely not my internet connection because we're going out live. So the internet's working fine. It is on the DVSA point of view from the apps, because like I said, it wasn't working this morning on the has perception clips when I was doing a tech check. Jennifer, hello, good morning to you. Congratulations on passing. Well done to you in passing. Thank you for letting me know how you got on. Hannah's passed as well. Congratulations on passing. Appreciate you coming to let me know. Sierra, good morning. I'm new here. I've been a silent watcher up until now. My test is booked for the 23rd. That's a couple of weeks away. You got at least another Sunday live, so you can turn up. Hopefully we have images on the future ones. If you've got any questions, type them in and let us send you in there nice and confident. How can I book for a practical test? DVSA website. Jump on the DVSA website, type in your details and look for dates on that. Right, what are we on? So we're guessing on this one. Let's see who can guess well. Some of you guys have gone for B's. That's interesting. Yeah, let's see who's gonna right. Are you guys copying each other or just know something I don't know? Right, Patty's gone for a C. All right, this is interesting. You guys gone for B. Which arm signal tells you that the car you're following is going to pull up? You guys have gone for B. So I'm going to go with the majority because it's your test. Me, I would be different and go for D. But let's see. B's what you guys gone for. Someone went for a C. So let's just give them the props. Patty went for C. Majority have gone for B. Patty's gone for C. I would have gone for D just to be different. But let's see who's right. Oh, the correct answer was C. Well done, Patty. Let's put her name. Yeah, she's up there. Well done. It's weird how most of you gone for B. Why? Is that what the answer comes up in the app as always B? But well done, Patty, for going for C. I'm going to leave it as it is. What will affect your vehicle stopping distance? TT, my morning during my first theory test on the 23rd of August. I've done all the categories. Now I'm doing mock test. Any advice? I've done all the categories. First, are you passing the mock test? Is the first thing that I would look at. And because just doing mock tests is fine, but you've got to be passing them, the majority of them. I'm not saying all of them, but majority of them. And then what you want to do when if you're using the 4-in-1, I can't comment for the others, but if you're using the 4-in-1 app, when you finish the mock test, it should give you your strongest category and it gives you the worst category. So let's just say you did 3 mock tests, one after the other. Not to say back to back, but what I'm saying 3 continuous mock tests. What you want to do is make sure the weak category doesn't pop up twice, 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3, because it suggests as a weakness. So for example, you're finished, it said your strongest category is road signs, but your weakest category is safety and your vehicle. If that safety and vehicle comes up again for whatever reason, then it suggests there's a still weakness in that particular category. So go and double check it. That's what I would do with that. But outside of that, you're doing the right thing. Rufy's touch, please, Mr. Doyle, is it possible to pass? I haven't driven a car before now. I'm assuming you mean, is it possible to pass the ferry? Yes, because I got people in the boot camp who's never driven before. And that's why you guys need to struggle. That's why you guys need to study, not struggle, a bit more than someone who's driven a car, because someone who's driven a car let me quickly explain. In the boot camp, I've got 2 groups. I've got guys coming from YouTube. Charmaine's one, for example, who's going to join. Selena's on here. She was in the boot camp. You guys come from YouTube, and then I've got my work ones in there who do the 5-day intensive course. They're in there as well. Those guys normally do the boot camp over 4 days, so Monday to Thursday, because they take their test on Friday. All of them have got their tests this Friday at 5 p.m. So they normally do it in 4 days. The reason why they can do it in 4 days is because they're driving. They're literally applying the theory every single day for 4 hours. So that's the reason why those guys normally pass first time, no problems. You guys in the boot camp who come from the YouTube, you guys have access to other training materials. So I've made it as easy as possible. You've got the 5-day boot camp, plus you've got other study materials in there, plus you've got the recordings. So the answer to your question, is it possible to pass if you haven't driven before? Yes, but you do need to study a little bit more because you're not applying it into real life. That's the reason why. Hopefully that made sense. All right, let's get on to number 7. There we go. Oh, gone for D there. That's a 6. Shouldn't be showing that. Lucky guess. But it's a good guess. Pat yourself on the back first and foremost. Always congratulate yourself. Right, you guys are all going for all right, 7C is what you guys, let me come back to that now because I don't know what it's about. Right, C is the common answer. What will affect your vehicle stopping distance? Street light, no. Speed limit, no. Yes, if your tire's less than 1.6 legal requirement, it's going to take longer to stop. You're waiting at a pelican crossing. What does it mean when the red light changes to flashing amber? Oh, wow, brilliant. I booked and got an area I didn't want. I use a test it app. Right, brilliant. Yeah, give it time. Give it time to do its work. It's already done it, changes the area you wanted. So give it time. It all depends, obviously, when you want the test. If you want it in the next 3 or 4 weeks, it may not be able to do it in that time. But if it's giving it months, like October, November, give it time. Got nothing to lose anyway, because at least now you've got a date and it's in the area that you want. So you're good. Just make sure you're ready for it when that time comes. So keep up with the lessons. Just wanted to say, Shaquille, what's that? Thank you. Passed my theory test. 40 out of 50, missed it by 2. But congratulations, I missed the magical 50. 63, well done. Study with me playlist, well done to you. Congratulations on passing. Sending out some love to Patty K. It's 47, 665. You guys are scoring high scores, man. Congratulations on passing, and thank you for breaking the silence. I appreciate that. Number 8. Selena sending out 100% recommended bootcamp. You're welcome. Terry, how are you? Did you have a test coming up soon, or is this my imagination? Siri's just kicked in. I said Terry, not Siri. Have you got a test coming up soon, or is just me imagining that? I'll tell you what I'm noticing on here as well, which is good. It's a positive thing. Some of you are typing in the wrong answers, rereading it, I'm assuming, and then changing your answers. That's what you want to do on a real test. Just double check it sometimes, just to make sure you haven't made a silly error on that. So that's good practice. All right, you guys are gone for C. What's the question? Give way to pedestrians on for crossing is correct. What should you do if you're driving a slow moving vehicle on a narrow, winding road? Oh, there's a lot of words in your name. I'm not going to attempt them. My dyslexia is kicking in badly. But congratulations on passing, though. I'm not seeing your name before. That's definite. So thank you for breaking the silence or turning up to the live for the first time. On passing, you got your next steps now of what, driving lesson or driving test? Charlotte, I'm praying to pass on the 27th. Again, you've got a couple more Sunday lives to join us. Get your questions out. Any doubts, any concerns? Let's get you in there and passing on the 27th. Then we've got a test tomorrow. I wish you luck with that tomorrow. Come back next week. Let us know how you got on. Absolute. Passed the second time. Congratulations on passing. 9D, 9C. See, you guys are split. I've got 9s, C's and B's on there. Just trying to find where it was. Lost my place. There we go. Stacey's changed her mind again to a C. Oh, that's an 8. It's a bit annoying. Right, you guys are split on this for some reason. 9B, 9B. I got a C. Okay. What should you do? What's B? Pull in when you can to let the vehicle behind overtake. That's a possible. And you guys went for C. Give it. Or give a left signal when it's safe for vehicles to overtake you. Give a left signal. That doesn't sound safe with this. Give a left signal because you're turning left, parking up on the left. You're not parking. I know it's got safe in it, but that doesn't suggest. Giving a left signal suggests you're parking or turning left, but you're moving. I would go for this one. Pull in when you can. In other words, when it's safe to let the vehicles behind overtake. So I'll go for B, not C. I know it's got safe in it, but that's give a signal suggests it's unsafe. There you go. You're driving along this road. What should you do if a red car, again, it's an image, car cuts in front of you. Again, you can work out the answer from this. You're driving along this road. What should you do if a red car cuts in close? You don't need the image for that. You know the car's cutting you up. So again, put your answers in and let's take a look at it. I've just decided I'm not going to fail again by 8 points in the Ferry 42.50. Yeah, 8 months. Again, you've got data now. So like I said, study the categories you've got the questions wrong in and go from there. Second time 47. Doesn't say what that, I can't back up that 10 is. But congratulations on passing anyway. You've done the passing, which is the most important thing. But thank you for coming and let me know how you got on 10. Is what we're after. Find the 10s. We've got, it should be B. Started lessons already. Well, hopefully lessons are going well. Why would you overtake on a narrow, winding road? Don't overthink it. That's not a question I would be asking. In real life, yeah, ask that question, but the fairy test is black and white. They're suggesting, they are suggesting it's safe to do it. So don't overthink it. Once you start overthinking the question, the chances are you're going to go for the wrong answer. Caroline, good morning. I'm still trying to find the error. Right, 10s are coming through now. So you guys are going for A. .67 has perception. That's a high score. 67. That's 8 short of the maximum. Well done to you. Started driving lessons, but not able to get a date. Yep, it's going to take a little while to get a date. I suggest getting up tomorrow morning nice and early, 5 to 6, and see if you can bag one of the new dates that come out. 47 and 73, 2 short of the maximum mark. Well done to you. Right, you guys are all gone for a good morning. Yeah, it's going to be dropped back, leave a safe gap, even though it's not got the image. You're driving behind a heavy goods vehicle. What should you do if it signals left but steers to the right? Remember, if you guys got any questions, type them in to the chat. Q semicolon, let me answer it. Also about the driving lessons, driving test. Outside of how to get a test date, I can't help you with that because it's the same for everybody. It's even the same for us trying to book our test for our students. We have to get up early Monday morning, tomorrow morning. Well, not me, the team. Try to get those dates that come up in the different areas that we teach in. I'll turn that as the wrong one. Yeah, slow down. Let the vehicle pass. The lorry's got to swing out to get round because it's got a trailer. Where it's different for you guys with a car. You literally stay to the left. When should you leave a 2-second gap between your vehicle and the one in front? I'm assuming you mean the driving test. Is too hard to change date, not seeing dates. You might hear a Luton and Watford. I would, like I said to Selena, I would use an app rather than try to look for dates, trying to change them. You want to do your test. I'm assuming you mean your driving test anyway, so I would try to change it via the app if that's what you're looking to do. I wouldn't be looking, if you're, where do you live? Do you live in Luton or Watford? I wouldn't be doing, if I lived in Luton, I wouldn't be taking my, let me rephrase that. If a pupil of mine lived in Luton, I wouldn't take them to Watford to do a driving test. The two test routes are different. I wouldn't be doing that. But you have to do you. And if you can get an instructor to take you to Watford, to get to know the area a bit better first, then fine. But I would be, if I was in Luton, what I would be looking for is, what's the name of the test centre now? I've done a video on it the other, I'm sure it was last year. I can't remember the name of the test centre. It'll come back to me. I can't remember the name of the test centre, but it's not in Watford direction. It's near Stevenage. Stevenage is a good test route, not too far from Luton. There's another one. I can't remember the name of it. It's really kind of quiet down there as well. It's actually a nice little test centre. I can't remember the name of it. It'll come back to me, but I wouldn't be going to Watford direction. I would go Stevenage, the other direction. If that's where you live in Luton, I can't remember the name of the other test centre. I would even do St Albans. I wouldn't be going down to Watford. But that, like I said, that's me, and that's because I know that those test centres as well. I've been to Watford Test Centre. I just think it's a bit tricky. But as I say, if you can drive safely, you can drive anywhere. So, got a B here. You can drive anywhere. But like I said, if you're based in Luton, I would look a little bit closer than Watford. I'm assuming, Stacey, you mean 12 12A. Most of you go, there you go, Stacey. Most of you have gone for 12A. Yeah, driving test. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't. If you live in Luton, I wouldn't be going to Watford. But like I said, you have to do you, because the situation that is dire, I was trying to find. No, it's not Hemel Hempstead. I don't know if you're commenting to say Hemel Hempstead. I can't remember the name of the test centre. Right, you guys have gone. Sorry, 12A. Trying to think while I'm doing this multitasking. Yeah, dry. 40 miles an hour or more. You should leave a 2-second gap. If it's raining, it'd be 4 seconds or double. Ice and snow is up to 10 times longer. Foggy doesn't count. Just drive slower in fog. How can you identify traffic signs that give orders? I live in Luton and have booked my driving test in Liverpool, November 27. I'm sure you mean 26. They don't book that far ahead. It's 6 months at a time. So you must mean November 20. What am I talking about? We're in 25 now, aren't we? Companies my debts. You must mean November 25, not 27. They don't book that far ahead. Again, use an app to change it. Like Selena just said she used Testy. There's another one, Test Shift. Use an app to change it. If you're looking to go online and change it manually, you're going to struggle to do that. I would use an app, and it does it while you're sleeping as well. So that's what I would do. 13. Right, some of you have gone for B's and D's on this. Give orders, red circle. Circle, it's the other one with circle in it. Square, brown, that's tourists. Triangular is going to be orders. If it was a red triangle, it just says blue. Doesn't exist. A rectangle, yellow border. Yeah, the only one with a circle in the three of them is this one. So you go straight for that one. Oh, there's an image. Is it working? What do the long white lines along the center of the road mean? I really did my head in with that test, and I can't remember what that test was called. Most of you gone for B. It's the last one, B. As hazard warning lines. Hazard warning lines lets you know there's a hazard coming up in this situation. It's the bend coming up, so it's warning you. You need glasses to read a vehicle number plate at the required distance. When must you wear them? most of you are going for C. If you pass wearing glasses, you have to wear them all the time when you're driving. So that's why it's this one. If you pass without wearing glasses, then it's obviously optional. What does this motorway sign mean? Remember, if you guys got any questions, please type it into the chat. Let me help you guys out as the best I can. These are from the previous ones. That's the first 16. Man. And you guys are going for C. Yeah, it's got 450s. It's used all the lanes, including the hard shoulder. What should you do before making a U-turn? Yeah, like I said, you've got a date, so you've got the bargaining tool. What I would do definitely is type it into the one of the test apps to shift it, and then let them do the heavy lifting. But just make sure you keep a date on your cancellation date for Liverpool, because if they can't change it, and the cancellation date is 10 working days before the date, if you don't change it before that, you're going to lose your fee, or obviously you're going to have to go to Liverpool to take the test. So just keep an eye on that, make a mental note. But let the app do it for you where possible. So you know you're going for A. All right, all of you gone for B, except, oh, that looks a bit weird. B, making you turn, look over your shoulder. Yeah, blind, we call it, when I say we, instructors call it blind spot check, which is a massive part of your driving test. So look over your shoulder before moving off. Oh, I haven't seen this one in a long time. What should you expect if you see this sign ahead? You're welcome. Can you explain the warning sign, instruction sign? I meant the triangle with red borders, etc. I'm always confused. There's nothing to explain. If it's a red triangle, it's warning. Triangles, red circles are orders. Red circles are orders. Triangles, red triangles are warnings, and blue circles are mandatory. There's not much more to explain. Any red triangle, it's a warning sign. But red circles are orders. Princess, hello. How times? I'm assuming how many times can you? Oh, I've got to reread that. Sorry. Basically, you're asking how many times can you click enhance perception. I don't know. I don't know how much times you can click enhance perception. Every video is different. I will add, if you're worrying about how many times you can click and has perception, you're doing the videos wrong. That's the reason why I don't know, and be honest, I don't care how many times you can click. What you should be doing is clicking on the hazards, i.e. anything that's going to cause you to slow down or change direction. If you're worrying about how many times you can click, you're approaching the videos wrong. The chances are you're going to fail. It's a wrong mental attitude to have. If you click on things that exist, it doesn't add up to too many. Not to mention as well, you're going to be counting your clicks, which is a waste of mental energy. You shouldn't be counting them. Oh, sorry, I missed a lot of... Oh, let's start again. I missed a lot of B's. Oh, got a C in there. Oh, change your minds, that's fine. Right, a majority have gone for B, not majority, all got a D, I'm about to say, all of you, but now majority, arrows are facing left. Yeah, this is a sharp deviation to the left. When will a new car need its first MOT test? You're welcome. Like I said, don't count the click. Unless you're doing the 2-click method, you count 1, 2, 1, 2, but never count your clicks on the video. It's a waste of mental energy. And every video is going to have a different amount of clicks because there's different amount of hazards on there. But it's a wrong mindset to have to go in there and count your clicks. See a problem, click. If you're clicking on problems, it will never add up to too many, unless obviously you're going crazy and clicking 4 or 5 times on the one problem, which is what they call spamming. Oh, that's interesting. Look, the first 3 out, I got A, B, C. It's settled down to C. So again, I've got to assume C is correct, as it's the majority at the moment. Yeah, when the car reaches 3 years old, you have to get an MOT. It's classed as no longer new. You're approaching a mini roundabout. What should you do if a long vehicle in front signals left but positions over to the right? Right, you guys seem to agree on this one. Going for these. Class 1D. Keep well back. With your horses, lorries, cyclists, answer's always going to be the same. Keep well back, stay behind, wait, be patient, give them plenty of room. It's never going to be overtaken on the ferry side of it. In real life, obviously, you need to make that decision on the day of your driving test. But on the ferry test, it's always going to be hold back, be patient, give them plenty of room. Right. Obviously, we got a step for Patty. Got it right. We got that one wrong. because of lack of images. So this is the breakdown. I always say this every week. Do the categories. That's why I say study in the categories. We've got 10 categories for a 20 question mock test, which is a lot. On the day of your test, when you get the 50 questions, you are going to get a question from each category. So it will be 14 categories. It's just the way it's structured. In this case, in our case, it's 2 for other types of vehicle, 2 for rules of the road, 1 for instant accident emergency, 4 for road and traffic signs, 3 for hazard awareness, 1 for vehicle handling, attitude got 4. That's a lot. Motorway rules 1, alertness 1, and documents is 1. So like I said, that's why you need your knowledge strong across the board. That's why you want to do your category. In my opinion, do your categories individually, unless you're cramming last minute, which obviously you won't have time to do that. So let me come out of this and see what you guys are saying. Right, I'm going to try to load up the has perception, but as I said earlier on, but it wasn't working on the iPad. It wasn't working on the desktop app either, as you saw with the images as well. So let me see if I can get to it. Has a perception. But like I said, if you guys got any questions, pull it into the comment section. Right, looks like that's going to load up. But before we do that, let me just quickly show you. You're welcome. You guys are welcome, because you're turning up. You're making it worthwhile. If you didn't turn up, it wasn't there. No point me showing up. So I'm doing it because you guys are turning up each week and taking part. So I'll try and do my best to keep coming on a Sunday, as long as health permits. Sorry, let me just show you something before we do that. As I keep saying, some of you, again, from emails and WhatsApp, you guys are emailing, WhatsApping me, and you see the theory test as a means to taking the driving test, but technically it is. But some of you aren't studying to understand it and take that information in, because you need it for your driving test. And if I can find what I'm looking for, it may help. So iPad. So this is a driving test report sheet, which you'll get pass or fail on your driving test. They email it to you. So box 17, traffic signs, which I think we got 4 of. Road markings, which we got the hazard warning line. Traffic lights, which we had the flashing amber. Traffic controllers, which is traffic officers, hand signals, flat palm, flat backhand, and other road users, which they talked about, cyclists, horse riders, road maintenance vehicles, mobility scooters. So that's your has perception. Sorry, that's your theory test right there. So like I said, you need that knowledge for your driving test. If you are not producing what the examiner's looking for based on your theory, he marks it in those boxes. Where I've marked it, those are what we call minor marks. You can still pass, but once it goes into the box of S or a D, then it's going to be a straight fail. You're not allowed any S's, which is serious, no D's, which is dangerous, on your driving test. Pick up one of those and it's game over. You failed your test. But like I said, that's your theory. Now we go on to the hazard perception, which is box 14. So the hazard perception, for those of you that don't know, it's you checking the mirror. So when you're in the video, you're driving in the car. That's how you have to see. That's why they show you the front view of the car. You're driving. When you see a problem, that's going to call you to slow down or change direction. In other words, shift left or right. You're checking the mirrors. That's what the click represents. So they're trying to train you to check your mirrors. So see a problem, click, problem, click, problem, click. So you want to check your mirrors before you signal. This is real life driving. Before you change direction, turn left or right. And before you slow down. On the videos, you don't see the car signaling, so you can minus that. So you're just looking for slowing down or changing direction. That's what your hazard perception is about. And that's the mirror section. and it's massive on your driving test. If your mirrors are weak, the chance of you passing your driving test is slim. And also, if you're seeing the problem late on your driving lessons, again, your passing is going to be slim because the brain's designed to protect you. If it sees something late, it ain't going to check mirrors first. It's going to go for the brake first, which means you've not checked your mirrors first before slowing down. Right, so let me just see what you guys are saying before I do a demonstration. The molar. Passed the theory test. Well done to you, 46 and 50. Oh, 46 out of 50, 62. After 3 attempts, your videos really helped. Congratulations. Thank you for coming to the live. So I'm just reading Charmin's comments. How do we join the WhatsApp group? There isn't a WhatsApp group. I'm just saying people WhatsApp me. The numbers on the website. People just send WhatsApps asking for help. How do you join the bootcamp? Blah blah blah. So it's not a WhatsApp group. I ain't got time to do that as well as YouTube. But like I said, people email me during the week to say X, Y, Z. They've passed, failed, blah blah blah, and all the rest of it. SF hi. And plus, Charmaine, you're in the boot camp now, so you got email support. So you don't need WhatsApp. You just send the email in to the group, to the team, and the team will sort you out. If they can't, then I'll jump on that and do it for them. You're welcome. Right, so let me do a hazard perception video. Let's abort this test. It looks like it's working, so let me get back to this. Hold on 1 second. Let me just enlarge this. Hazard perception. Right, hopefully, I'm going to take this down. And then on HD. So let me, before I set this up, let me explain. So what I'm going to do is obviously play the video, and then what I'm going to do is talk out loud what I'm looking at, and so you know what I'm seeing and what you should be doing. And then I'm going to go for 2 clicks. So it's click when I see the problem, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to click again. The reason why you want to do that, because on the video it says click early to get the highest mark. What it don't tell you that if you click too early, you're going to get a 0. You have to get between the 5 and the 1, ideally between 5 and 3, because 1s and 2s, you're below the average. So I'm going to do 3 videos, and my average should be 9. But unfortunately, on the desktop app, it is the real life clips, which is hard to see the problem, and they don't always sync up. So even though I'm clicking, sometimes it could be still late, too late or too early. Ideally, what you want to do is on your app, on your tablet or phone, on the app version, because it gives you CGIs, which is the real, and they're properly synced up. Real life clips don't always sync up on the apps, so that's the reason why. So let me do this. Hopefully you guys can see this. So I'm looking into the distance. There's something up there. I can't see what it is. I'm just going to click, because like I said, it's hard to see. And when you're driving, you should be scanning from left to right, because signposts are normally on the pavement. Again, I can't see around the bend, so I'm going to click on that. Always, what if there's a problem? Telling me another bend's coming up. I can't see a thing on this. It's so dark. Okay, there's something going up there. Sharp bend to the left. It's like a cyclist on the road or something. So when you go for the real test, it will be CGI, so it's going to be a lot more crystal than this. Oh, 5 out of 5. Always review it back so you can see where you're going right or wrong, depending on when you look at it. So there's my first click. Literally, it looks like it's just in the 5. And then my second one's landed in the 4. And then I went for another 2 just to make sure I got a score. But like I said, if you go back to here, let me play it. I can't just about can see a problem there. That's why I clicked. Just about see it. But on the CGI ones, it is crystal clear on that. So it's going to be a lot easier to see. But this doesn't give me the chance to do CGIs, unfortunately. Can't see around the bend, so you can always click on that. What if something's around there? That's what you should be doing for your driving lessons. Again, look into the bend as well. So look into the bend. 30 miles an hour. Car looks like it may be coming out. Or parked, one of the two. Something's coming towards me. I'm going to go for a third one just to make sure. So keep going, because this could be a 10, the double. Because remember, you don't know which one's going to be the double hazard. Again, look into the bend. And again, you should be driving from left to right, right to left, as in looking when you're driving. I can't see around there. So again, it's a what if there's something around there. 3 out of 5. Always review it back. So this is where I clicked for the car. Parked up, but it says too early. And then I went for another. So look, let me just quickly explain this as well. There's 4 clicks for here. I've gone for the 2 clicks on this car here. That's one problem. And then when I saw the van, I went for another one. So you want to do 2 clicks per problem, not 1 click for all of them. And again, scan from pavement to pavement, because that's where road signs are. Look as far as you can see in a distance, so you can see early. I can see this car here as well. And I can't see nothing going on. The car's on the wrong side of the road. I think I was well late on that one. But that's life. You learn. Remember, you learn from mistakes as well. So don't beat yourself up if you're getting 1s and 2s. It's all about improvement. So you're trying to peak for when you take your real test. And I can't see nothing going on. Still can't see nothing going on. Two out of 5. So review it back. See where they're saying I could have clicked. See, I can't see nothing here. Oncoming vehicle overtaking cyclist. I can't see nothing until now. That's where I see it. And that's what I'm saying. These real life clips don't always tally. So I'm not going to beat myself up over it, because they're saying that's when I can't show you because this is in a way, but they're saying this is where I should have seen a problem. I can only see the problem now where it goes over the white line, which is where I clicked is a 3. So there's no way I can see myself getting a 5 for that. But like I said, you learn from it. So if you go back to what I said, 3 video clips, you want to average 3 overall. I've got 10. 3 times 3 is 9, so I'm really +1 up. So if I kept going at that rate, I'm going to pass the 14 videos. And that's how you really want to do it. So do 3 videos at a time, get your average score, and then you work up to your 14 videos, do a mock test so you get mentally trained for it. That's how you want to be doing that. My exam's on the 30th. I failed 5 times, August the 13th, which is next week, isn't it? Wednesday. Well, I wish you luck with the 6th time. Hopefully you're prepared for it. Patrick's passed his test last week. Thanks for the video. You're welcome, Bruno. It was late, but you're here. No problem. Right. So hopefully that makes it a little bit more clearer with the hazard perception. Like I said, training wise, I would, even though you got the choice of CGIs and the real life clips, I will practice both, because you're training to concentrate in that test environment. So I will still do both of them. But as I said to you, the real life clip doesn't always sync up. So sometimes you click and you think you should have seen it or you couldn't have seen it like I did on the last one. Don't beat yourself up over it. Remember, you are learning and you want to learn from mistakes, and that's how you keep going forwards. No problem. Let me see if the iPad version works. I can do a CGI one so it's a lot clearer before you guys go. Let's see if that works. And then you can see the difference in quality. Hopefully it works, but like I said, it wasn't working this morning. CGI. iPad. Yeah, it's already not working. Let me unplug it and see. But like I said, I will add the iPad version. Sorry, the real life test is obviously a bigger screen and better quality. It's a little bit slower than the real than the apps based on feedback. So hopefully it doesn't crash. And the bends I can't see round. So again, what if the hump bridge, I can't see beyond the bridge. So I always want to click for that. I'm going to click again because of police. A bend, I can't see around the bend. Always a what if. 60 miles an hour, single carriageway. Yeah, it's already crashed on there as well. So like I said, let me unplug that so you can still see. No, it's crashed. It's not going to work on that. Unfortunately. Yeah, it's crashed and frozen. So I can't do it on that one. But yeah, you've seen the desktop version. So I apologize for the bugs that's in this at the moment. But like I said, you've seen on the desktop version what you need to do. I repeat, see the problem, click, count 1, 2, click again. But I will stress you're practicing at home. So don't beat yourself up if you're not getting the scores. Practice makes you better. And that's all you're trying to do is just enhance your skills. So when you go for the real test, you got it nailed down. Because some of you guys, the scores you're typing in there, 60, 65, are high scores for a real test. 52, 53 is about average. So if you're getting 60s on the real test in that stressful situation, you've done really, really well. But a pass is a pass. I'm not saying aim for 44. What I'm saying is don't beat yourself up if you're getting 44s, 45s. It's always going to come down to the questions. The reason why the questions, you don't know what you're going to get. And that's the biggest failure rate is the questions. Hazard perception, once you know what a hazard is, slowing down, change direction, it's the same for any video. You just have to spot them. But the questions, unfortunately, if they're worded differently, you have to make sure, Rachel, good morning to you. You too, Selena. You have to understand what they're looking for in terms of answers. Right, so, Rachel, when did you book it for? Yeah, Marissa always keeps silent. She doesn't say hello to us. Any advice on where to start booking a practical? Yeah, jump on the website, dvsa.gov.uk. How long should I book one in advance? I can't answer that. That's down to your instructor. They can guide you on when you should be booking your driving test with that. But you have to be prepared to keep looking because the waiting time is long. So you may not be able to just get on book one. It's going to be a long process with that. 28th of this month. So 18th, that's 2 weeks. So you got 2 more Sundays, Rachel. Turn up on time. Let's help you pass your ferry test on the 28th. Again, if you've got any questions, first time I'm late, no problem. You're here. Watch the replay. Yeah, Rachel, if you've got any questions while you're studying during those 2-3 weeks, jot them down, bring on the Sunday, type them into the chat, and let me help you out and pass that test on the 28th of August. Those of you that's got a test coming up, I wish you the best of luck with it. Please turn up next week. Let us know how you got on. Those of you still studying, I wish you good luck with the studying. Remember, while you're studying, any questions, any doubts, any concerns, write them down. Bring them to the next Sunday's live. Let me answer those questions and clear up all those doubts and send you on your way. And hopefully next week, whatever the bugs was on the apps, it'll be working better. So we can have the pictures of the diagrams and I better has a perception or clearer one. So I'll see you guys next week. Stay safe, most importantly, because it's going to be hot next week. So make sure you stay hydrated as well. See you next week. Take care.